មាជិកគណៈបកសង្គ្រោះជាតិប្រាជ្ញាផ្លេចមានសាមគ្គីក្រុមនានាសង្គ្រោះបម្រើការពារកម្ពុជាខ្មែរព្រមគ្រប់គ្នាទាមទារសិទ្ធិសេរីឯករាជ្យបូរណភាពអធិបតេយ្យខ្មែរប្រស្រីបដូរផ្ដាច់ថែរក្សាមិនឲ្យបរទេសឆ្លៀនពៀនមកត្រួតត្រាសម្បត្តិដូនតាធនធានជាតិខ្មែរព្រះអាទិត្យរាំងបំភ្លឺកម្ពុជាខ្មែរឯកភាពគ្នាដងស្រាយបញ្ហាយោបាយសេដ្ឋកិច្ចសង្គមអហិង្សាសិលធម៌ថ្លៃថ្លាជីវភាពរុងរឿងដីយើងពូជយើងភូខលយើងខ្មែរក្រមឡានសង្គមជាខេមរាបោះឆ្នោតឲ្យចំដល់អំណាចជូនប្រជាដើម្បីកម្ពុជារួមរឿងសេនសានជ័យយោគណៈបកសង្គ្រោះជាតិសមាជិកគណៈបកសង្គ្រោះជាតិប្រាជ្ញាថ្មីគ្មានសាមគ្គីក្រុមនានាសង្គ្រោះបម្រើការពារកម្ពុជាខ្មែរព្រមគ្រប់គ្នាទាមទារសិទ្ធិសេរីឯករាជ្យបូរណភាពអធិបតេយ្យខ្មែរប្រស្រីបដូរផ្ដាច់ថែរក្សាមិនឲ្យបរទេសឆ្លៀនពៀនមកត្រួតត្រាសម្បត្តិដូនតាធនធានជាតិខ្មែរព្រះអាទិត្យរាំងបំភ្លឺកម្ពុជាខ្មែរឯកភាពគ្នាដងស្រាយបញ្ហាយោបាយសេដ្ឋកិច្ចសង្គមអហិង្សាសិលធម៌ថ្លៃថ្លាជីវភាពរុងរឿងដីយើងពូជយើងភូខលយើងខ្មែរក្រមឡានសង្គ្រោះជាតិខេមរាបោះឆ្នោតឲ្យចំផ្ដល់អំណាចជូនប្រជាដើម្បីកម្ពុជារួមរឿងសេនសាន
and welcome. Thank you for joining our show. This is Khmer Youth Voices for Justice. This show is playing in CNRP America Facebook Live. Again, thank you so much for joining our show. My name is Linda Wu. I will be your host tonight. Our topic for today is Insight into 2023. Talking about 2023. Happy New Year. I hope you had a great New Year, a great couple days off, and looking forward to working in 2023. Anyhow, I just want to wish you a happy New Year, and also, whatever you do, hopefully you best of luck for 2023. Again, today, January 3rd, 2023. Thank you so much for joining our show. I have my wonderful guest. She's actually shouldn't be a guest. She should be a co-host today. Her name is Brittany Baker. She is from Columbus, Ohio. We are, I don't know how much the distance is, but we are a long way from each other. But still, she is joining us. She is here. Let me welcome her. Let me bring her out. ជំរាបសួរ and សួស្ដី Brittany.
សួស្ដី
How are you?
I'm good. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for joining our show with Brittany here. Just me and her. So today, just Brittany and I, and we have a lot to talk about. Brittany have been traveling the world. So welcome back to Columbus, Ohio.
Thank you.
How's Ohio?
It's good, but I think I'd rather be in Turkey.
How long were you in Turkey for? Can I ask?
Yeah, sure. I was there for 2 weeks. Not long enough.
Yeah. What fun's in Turkey? What brought Brittany to Turkey?
Good question. I've always been interested in Turkey, and I finally had a chance to go. So just to learn more about the people and the culture and the situation there, and the government, and yeah, to see how people live in Turkey. It's a massive country. It looks like Samuel has visited Turkey before, so he knows how amazing and special it is. I wish I had more time, but maybe another trip.
Your Facebook post is amazing. It's all the architecture, all the places you've been, but it looks cold. By the way, is it cold?
It's a little cold, but not in comparison to Ohio.
Oh, okay.
I actually missed a really big snowstorm. Thankfully, there was no snow in Turkey, but yeah, as Samuel mentioned, I went on a hot air balloon ride, which was really special. So yeah, I'm glad I had an opportunity to do that.
There's hot air balloon in America as well. Have you done those?
No, no.
I think that's closer to my house. There's a hot air balloon. Anytime, come on down. It might be different, but it's
Yeah.
not like Turkey, but we do have hot air balloon in America. So, we happy you back. Your viewer, your fan miss you. Last week you were supposed to do our monthly update, yearly update, but she didn't get to be here. But at least we can talk to Brittany insight into 2023. Any plan for 2023? What you want to do? What's your goal? Anything or any resolution you want to share?
Um, I'm not big on making resolutions, really. We just hope to have a good year, peaceful year. A little every year, hopefully, is better than the previous year. Yeah. What about you?
No resolutions. I'm not giving up anything. I'm not giving up anything. But I am hoping the same thing like you. I'm hope world peace. I guess it's too much to ask, right? Um, hoping the situation in Cambodia is better. Personally, on personal level, like I said, I do not have any resolution. So just hoping, nice, quiet family, nice, quiet reading, just normal day. It's just another day, but it's a year older. So, so and that's about it about 2023. Do you do any? You came back before the new year, so do you celebrate the new year in
Mm,
Ohio?
Nothing. Nothing too much. Still just sort of transitioning back to this time zone. Um, yeah, had a couple. Saw a couple close friends, so that was special. But yeah. What about you? Any celebrations out in California?
No. California have been raining, so thank goodness it rained.
Mhm.
But we love the rain. No, I did not go anywhere. I did not go to downtown. Or did not go to see any rose parade at all. Stay home, enjoy the rain, and be home and be safe. I guess watching TV,
Yeah.
watching the countdown from New York. So that's about it. So very quiet, very very just family, just stay home. And
Mhm.
oh, we went to the snow, but but you nothing fancy for you because you go outside, you see snow. For us, we had to go up the mountain and see snow. So uh,
Right.
and that's about our trip for the new
Yeah.
year. And that, yeah. So thank you, Brittany, for giving up your time, for spending your time with us. We glad you're back in America, but I know no matter where you are, I can always get a hold of you um, to do my live show. So thank you so much for being here.
Welcome.
Our topic is insight into 2023. The first topic I'm gonna bring up is about the casino. Um, on December, even though this happened in 2022, December 28th, there's a fire. Let me read a little bit, and then I do have a video. On December 28th, a fire broke out in the Grand Diamond City, where hundreds of people were in the building. Unfortunately, different news agency have given how many. It's not. Different number of people in the building, different number of people that got that the victim, and also many people that hurt. So different new agency have not even come out with a number, but the latest number I have, it's like let me see, 27 people were killed and more than 112 that were injured. And also from one of the new agency, it's around about 400 people were in the building. But like I said, many different news agencies. So I have a short video clip, many video clip, but I will get a short one to play so that way our audience will see what's going on. And this is when we're talking about insight into 2023. We are talking about the fire, and we also want to see what we can do and also what to say why it should be preventable. And hang tight. Let me share my screen.
There are a lot of things in life we want but can't have. Health insurance shouldn't be one of them. Covered California is making health insurance more affordable for millions of us. Even if you've looked before, you should look again. Enrollment ends January 31st.
The Cambodian casino turns into a nighttime inferno, killing at least 19 people as a raging fire swept through the Grand Diamond City Hotel and Casino. Video circulating on social media shows people desperately trying to escape the flames that engulfed the building, apparently jumping or falling from the upper floors they were trapped on, some to their death. Helicopters, firefighters, medics, and police were all frantically deployed, but initially rescue teams struggled to reach people inside because of the dense smoke. Authorities say it took more than 6 hours to bring the fire under control. The building now a charred, gutted mess. Crowds of onlookers gathered there as ambulances and rescue teams arrived on the scene, pulling bodies from the site.
ตอนนี้เป็นคนไทยครับรายชื่อขึ้นเป็นคนไทยรอตรวจอัตลักษณ์อยู่นะครับแต่ที่มีบัตรที่เป็นพวกนี้ก็จะเป็นคนไทยอยู่นะครับ
Relatives of the victims describing their heartbreaking last moments. One Thai man telling a local broadcaster he'd lost both his parents in the blaze, but spoke to them on the phone as they were trapped in the building. He said, I talked to them until 3 a.m. I tried to encourage them to be patient. Around 3 a.m., they said they couldn't hold on anymore. My daughter and I kept talking to them until my father passed away first, and then my mother. Another saying their relative had stayed behind to help others escape, including a pregnant woman, but died after the rope he was holding on to broke. The hotel is located in Poi Phet, on the border with Thailand, and is popular with Thai nationals who come for the gambling, as it's mostly illegal in Thailand. With some still missing, the director of Cambodia's Provincial Information Department warned that the death toll could rise. The majority of those who died are believed to be Thai nationals. Authorities now working to determine the cause. Ali Aruzi, NBC News.
Our thought and prayer, and I just sending condolence to the family of the victim, first of all. And Brittany, have you been to Poi Phet, Cambodia? You've been to Cambodia many times, but have you been to this particular casino, this particular hotel?
I have. When crossing into Thailand, you cross past this casino, and I'm not a casino person or a gambler, but I was curious one time when I was walking and walked into that casino. And it's for me, casinos are kind of sad and depressing places. So this one was also sad and depressing. And then when I heard the news, it was, of course, very, very shocking and very sad. As you said at the intro there, this was preventable. It didn't have to happen. And, you know, dozens of people are dead because of this. And even up to 100 people are injured. A lot of people are suffering. Cambodians, Thai people, who knows who else suffered as a result of this fire.
Thank you, Brittany. When I talk to people, especially Cambodian, when they're talking about fire, especially the particular fire, and what they're saying is that, Cambodia. What I trying to do is I try to tell people what we in America or what we oversee normally do. When we go to work, you work at the school, I work for a private sector. The building is equipped with fire alarm, building with a smoke detector and fire alarm, and also sprinkler water, and also we have a fire drill. We have in California, we have fire drill, we have earthquake drill, and we have active shooting drill. Unfortunately, that's what the kids have to do over here. And we have different kind of drill. I believe in a different company, if you have to do with a chemical, they also have a asthma or whatever drill it is, that so that way the people that in the building know what they're doing. And also there's a certain amount of time that when you practice, you should be able to get out. So that way, and when you get out of the building, when you practice, you meet at a locations. So that way your group leader or can count you if you are alive or not. Throughout this many videos that I have watched, I did not see anyone describe or interview that saying that, I heard a fire alarm, I heard of sprinkler go off, I or anything. All I heard was the fire. Many news that I read, the fire started on first floor and might be caused by electricity because of the decorations. That's what I have been hearing, but I have not heard that, the fire alarm ring and we heard that, and we so it's preventable. And when I go back to my go back to my thing, when I talk to Cambodian, they keep saying Cambodia is not modernized enough to have those systems. And to me, I'm very pissed. I'm very it's not a valid answer. It's not a valid excuse. Cambodia has iPhone 14 to use. Those are not something that Cambodia build. It's something that Cambodian can purchase and install. And also on the building as well, like our viewer said, there should be an alarm. An alarm is something that you install, a smoke detector alarm. My house has one, and my house is not modernized. It's something that we purchase from Home Depot and put it on. And the same thing when you in a big building, tall, high-rise building, they should not be cutting corner when they are building this tall, high-rise casino building. What's your thought on that? When someone's actually justify the fire by saying, "Oh no, we're not modernized enough to even have those systems in place."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really frustrating response. So I can understand why that would really not sit well with you. It's an excuse that's excusing the tragedy that took place here, and like the dots that the steps that weren't taken that could have easily been taken to prevent such a tragedy. And then 2 days later, the prime minister, 2 days after the fire, the prime minister comes out and says, we need more better resources for fire safety equipment. Well, there are many large buildings, tall buildings in Cambodia, multi-story buildings in Cambodia, in all cities across the country. So I don't know why that equipment isn't available, and those basic protection and safety efforts aren't taken. These buildings are very lucrative. The casinos are bringing in a lot of money. So to protect the staff and the the customers of the casino should be a top priority. Even from a business standpoint, you would want to make sure that the people that are coming to lose their money there are able to come back tomorrow and lose even more money. So it's really frustrating that there is it's very easy to build these buildings and get a lot of money through these basically illegal enterprises, because gambling is also illegal to Cambodians. So there's all this backdoor and shady transactions that happen to allow these casinos to be in Cambodia anyways. So the buildings are rushed and they're built, and like this one, for example, was I think 16 stories, and there's absolutely no plan if there's a fire or a major emergency. At one point I read a story, and they said a news article, and it said 400 people were standing on the roof, stranded on the roof. And of course, I think we've all seen the videos and the pictures of people jumping off of this 16-story building because there's no hope for them to be saved in those efforts. So it's frustrating, to say the least.
And when we looking back into 2023, when we bring it up, when we all talk about this, we just hope that it's no longer an issue in 2023. Hopefully, the Western educations that the regime is giving their kid, prime educations, would able to use on such thing as fire alarm that the Western already built, that can be installed or can be put on anywhere into a building, and any little smoke will trigger an alarm. And like I said, I did not even see anybody talking about fire alarm or fire sprinkler. We know that the sprinkler is something might be hard to do, but fire alarm just trigger the smoke, and that should be something that alert everybody, alert all the floor that, hey, there's something, there's fire, get out. So that's what we hope in 2023. Were you hopeful too that this hopefully the last time?
Yeah, I hope so. And especially in throughout Cambodia, not just in this border town, there are these massive high-rises that are coming, and it really puts a spotlight on the safety features of these buildings, or the lack of safety features of these buildings. And hopefully there can be a stronger government mandate to make sure these buildings are fitted with the most basic equipment and things that are necessary to keep the people safe. I mean, I know I've stayed in hotels or hotels that are, 5, 10, 15 floors up, something like that. And I didn't think too much about the safety before, but of course now it'll make me think even more about if that is a safe place for me to stay.
Thank you, Brittany. And that's a good point. Everybody who's in a hotel right now in Cambodia, please check your hotel and see if there's a fire alarm at least, because that's in Phnom Penh, there's many high-rise building, many high-rise condo. So that's something that they should check as well. When people said, when something like this happened, elevators not working. So please check your surrounding, and that should be a really good point, Brittany. Thank you for bringing it up. Our next topic is I want to talk about insight into 2023. We want to look at the U.S. relationship with Cambodia. How do you feel? Is it going to improve? Is it going to be the way it is, or any sign that you've seen that it might improve?
I'm hopeful for an improvement, because I think over the last 6 to 12 months, there's been more of a refocus from the U.S. government to care about Cambodia, to care about the region. there have been recent delegations from the United States to Cambodia. There's been a careful watch of the Ream Naval Base, for example, which I'm hopeful that there'll be continued coverage of that. There's been a lot of support at all levels of the U.S. government, support and also call for human rights, a better human rights situation, civil society situation from all levels of the U.S. government as a result of a lot of advocacy from people here across the country with HR 4686 and S 3052. So I'm hopeful that this refocus and reposition of Cambodia and of the greater region there will be promising, especially leading up to the election in July. So
let's dissect a little bit. U.S. relation with this monkey trafficking. What do you take on that? We know that on December 27, Kri Maspel, that's the director of for first 3 administrations Wildlife and Biodiversity Department, he got released. I mean, out of jail, but he's still released on bail. Out of jail, he still have to wear the ankle bracelet to track where he's at, but they did release him. You think that's because the better relationship that U.S. with the Cambodian with U.S.?
No, I don't think that is because of a better relationship. I think he has several U.S. lawyers, as well as support from the Cambodian embassy in Washington, D.C. that were advocating on his behalf. But he was imprisoned for a while, so I'm hopeful that the judge will continue to assess his situation, and although he was offered bail, as you said, he's still monitored with the device on his ankle and has future court proceedings. So we'll continue to follow that case, but I don't think it's necessarily an indicator that the relationship between the U.S. and Cambodia is better, or I don't think it was a favor necessarily. It's not like he was released to return to Cambodia. My understanding is that he has a residency here in Virginia, so he was released to his house in Virginia under the surveillance of an ankle monitor.
So he's out of jail, but he's not out of the hook yet. So we will monitor on that. That is regarding monkey trafficking from Cambodia, where they only supposed to import breeded monkey, but instead he is accused. I'm accused of bringing wild monkey into the lab for testing, and it's very unfortunate that during COVID, the quantity or the amount of monkey that being imported to America to testing, so quote, for COVID vaccines got increased. So and it's very unfortunate on that. Let me bring up another subject. How about the U.S.?
Add one more thing there. It was frustrating when I read the Phnom Penh Post article about this. They quoted a ministry spokesperson, let me see the name, Rachna, who said, "This is a positive step and great news for his family, especially his children who have not spoken with him for more than a month." And I just want to remind people of the dozens of political prisoners of conscience, and various Cambodian prisons. Of course, the notable Terry Singh, who's a Cambodian American, Mich Hing, countless others who are strung across Cambodian jails, including the countrysides, and very much isolated from their friends and family and support networks and their religion. So while sure he maybe was in a U.S. prison and slightly isolated from his family, I don't think the conditions are comparable to what the political prisoners in Cambodia are facing. So that was a little frustrating and a laughable moment.
Yes, you were talking about a house. Yes, he was released to a resident in the Eastern District of Virginia. So that's where he's at right now. Please don't go and chase after him. That's where he's at. You got me lose track on my thought on this. Yes, political prisoner. That's more than I like less than 50 political prisoner in Cambodia, not just political prisoner. The labor union leader, Jimsy Tai, is still there as well. So many people that's in there in jail, and the spokesperson talking about a month in America prison. I'm sure if we were to interview him, that was in prison in Florida, he's probably can agree that the prison here you can eat and you probably well off than in Cambodia. So, and that's what I want. And thank you, Brittany, for reminding us. And let me show you. I know there's more than people been in prison for more than 2-3 years, and it's continue to be. And also the Friday woman who their husband, their father, their brother, and they still protesting, asking for the release of their loved one every single Friday. And for someone who were to be prisoner in America and complaining about 1 month in prison in comparable to what our political prisoner in Cambodia gone through, it's nothing. So I have anything else we want to touch on the U.S. relation with Cambodia?
Did you want to show that video?
Let me see.
I think there'll be more after that one.
Let me see. We can talk about that after. Let me see.
In our view, China-U.S. relations is the most important relations that matters, not just.
I just want to let our audience know he is the Secretary of State and at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, U.S.-China relations. So he is biased, so we'll listen to him.
To the two countries, but also our regional development as well. And I can't emphasize enough, that ASEAN remains neutral in this, competition. We don't want to choose sides. And frankly speaking, we want to work closely with both countries. And actually, it is happening already. Last year, we, elevated our relationship with China to comprehensive strategic partnership. And in the coming days, we are going to also establish comprehensive strategic partnership with the US. There are so many area of cooperations that we can work on. So for us, it is important that the two major powers can look at ways on how they can cooperate, at the same time they are competing on some other areas. Our view is that the bigger the area of common interest they can work on, the better for other countries that are now having close relationship with the two countries. I don't think it's, the best way forward to say is that, ASEAN should be on this side or that side. Of course, for us, it is not just about repeating our positions that we don't want to be in the middle of this major power rivalry, but we are also looking at ways on how we can strengthen ourselves. So we put forward a number of framework and strategies and policies to make sure that we remain strong internally and also, expanding our partnership, not just with the US and China, but also with many other countries as well. As you can see this year, we have 7 more countries, signing to the Treaty of Amity and Cooperations. So again, our hope is that the US and China can find ways to work together, especially on area of common interest. And when it comes to area of common interest, they just look at, the comprehensive strategic partnership that we are going to have. There's a long list of things that we can work together. and that would be the best way in moving this competition forward. And I also think that intense competition just between the two without area that they can cooperate is also risky. We may end up in a situation that no one wants.
So Dr.
What do you take on that video, Brittany? But
right, and this was following the conclusion of the chairmanship of the ASEAN Cambodia's chairmanship over the last year. So it's a little frustrating that he's taking the position of saying that Cambodia is neutral and almost painting like a victim mentality of like, oh, like we're just here in the middle, and these two superpowers are having their own issue, and we're just over here. It really just dismisses the formal agreements and the informal agreements that Cambodia has had with China over the last number of years. And as I said earlier, I'm hopeful that the U.S. relationships will continue to improve with Cambodia, and that the United States will ramp up their presence in Cambodia and help ensure that the people of Cambodia are having a space to perform elections and to have a very vibrant civil society. But I think it's a little false to represent this idea that Cambodia is a neutral party, and that they haven't taken various very serious steps to China. If we look at the Ream Naval Base, for example, we know that's just not true. And last year, when officials went from the U.S. State Department to Cambodia in part to look at the Ream Naval Base and to see what was happening there, and with the new international airport, all funded and have direct ties to China, they were not permitted to look at those projects. So it's a really interesting stance that he took with that.
Another interesting as well is there's many casino in Cambodia, and the biggest one I know it's tied to Chinese or tied to Malaysian owner. But many of those people that go into this casino, I know been to the casino. You've been to Cambodia. Who go to those casinos, Brittany?
Everyone goes to those casinos. Cambodians go, foreigners go, Chinese people go. We've been following the NAGA world strike for the last year, and we know very well that, as you said, the higher ups people that are refusing to meet the demands of the union, those people have direct relationships with China. And then, of course, like most of all of the workers are Cambodian, so those are the people that are disadvantaged. But there are officially rules that say that the Constitution prohibits Cambodians from gambling, but of course, that's not always the reality.
Yes, and thank you for bringing it up. And for somehow Naga will is able to build that third casino in Cambodia. So, and I believe I have touched on this subject many times. There's many casino when it's come to casino. Looking into 2023, we know casino bring human trafficking. Casino bring dirty money. Money laundering, any improvement in that sector at all that you can tell, or is that us? I know human trafficking is a big news lately because it's brought because many countries talk about Cambodia it's a hotbed. Cambodia is have been famous for human trafficking. Mm-hmm. Any improvement that you can see in 2023 on that?
I hope so. The strike with the protesters continues. I'm happy to see the resurgence of many groups on the ground that are coming from different unions, the teachers' unions, and they're building a stronger coalition. I'm inspired to see that. So I hope that there's some improvements with the unions and that the workers have their demands met. Hopefully the fire, the very tragic fire a couple of days ago, will shine the light on basic safety measures that need to take place to keep the workers safe. So hopefully
we both can hope. I know the regime, Hun Sen himself came out and said yesterday that he's hoping that the Chinese tourism come back to Cambodia. You've been to Cambodia after COVID. How the crowd in Cambodia? How's the hotel? How the tourist or hospitality, something like that. How the tourism sector in Cambodia?
When I was there over the summer, it was still a little bit low. Definitely not what it was pre-COVID. And there were very serious, very obvious, visible impacts of COVID. A lot of things that I used to visit pre-COVID were shut down, unfortunately. So hopefully it's getting better, because a lot of people are dependent on that for their lifestyle, and there hasn't been any sort of like social safety net programs that have kept people afloat over the 3 years of the pandemic. So hopefully it'll come back, but I'm hopeful that it will be truly beneficial to the Cambodian people, and not similar to what we've seen in like Kampong Saum, where a lot of the local people are pushed out of their areas. And also the development projects, I am also watching those and being mindful that the national road projects are creating a lot of displaced people. People who have long lived on that land are being pushed off because of road projects and other development projects, which have oftentimes like foreign money tied to those projects. So we're seeing even more displaced people, landless people, people without maybe without titles or deeds to the land, which is pretty common in Cambodia. We're seeing them like being displaced. So slowly rising tourism, but also a lot of other issues too around that.
The way I look at it, right now, Cambodian in Cambodia can go any province. I know it's very quiet. I know it's not as booming as before COVID. And also when we say about booming, tourism booming, that's also a lot of crime, a lot of bad things going on. But right now, I have noticed and I have seen pictures from people that go to Cambodia and enjoy their vacations, and it's very quiet. The worst part is that Cambodian affected by that, because the town people not able to find job, not able to basically affect the pocket of the real Cambodian, the youth and the middle age that actually working in the tourism sector. But from the people that looking into it's very now it's very quiet, not crowd and rowdy, with full of tourists from a different country. And mainly when we're talking about, I'm not being I just don't want to call out any nationality in any like Sihanoukville. When people go to Sihanoukville, it's very quiet right now, and it's less crowded, less crime in Cambodia. So that's one of the benefit. But at the same time, people doesn't have job, and when people don't have job, they cross the border. They cross the border to Thailand to work on, to basically to support their family, and that's another issue that going on during this COVID. So hopefully, the good tourists go back to Cambodia. I guess, behaving citizen. Go back to Cambodia and visit Cambodia. That's how money flow. Hopefully, Cambodian inside can have a job, can doesn't bring in many jobs for Cambodian inside. So that's what our hope for 2023. We touch base on, safety. We touch base on U.S. relation and China relations, and now we touch base a little bit on tourism. Anything you want to add, Brittany? Did I miss? You want to see in 2023?
Well, yes, actually, after the meeting between President Biden and Hun Sen in mid-November, President Biden released a statement which also reiterated the call for the release of the activists detained on the politically motivated charges, including, he mentioned by name the U.S. Cambodian dual citizen Singh Terry, who we showed earlier. And then also President Biden, which I found to be hopeful. Again, he reiterated the commitment that the United States has to the Cambodian people for an independent country, a democratic country. So those are all things to be hopeful for, and to also remind the U.S. government as citizens of the United States, we have the right, we have the ability to ask our elected officials to follow through with the promises that they make. So just to remind everyone that that's what President Biden said following the meeting in November.
Oh, forgot one more thing. Cambodia will have an election in July 2023. Election is coming up. What you say or what you wish Cambodian do for elections? Election is a very exciting time. Exciting time in America is also exciting time. Time for change, time for new leadership. In Cambodia's elections coming up, and the time to register your name to vote is already passed. We've been advocating for people to register to vote. Now the time passed already. So what do you hope for on the elections?
Yeah, good question. I was there on 2017 during that national election, and then also most recently in June during the commune election. So I have a lot of big hopes and aspirations for this election. I don't want to see a similar fate to CNRP being dissolved with the Candlelight Party. It's the second largest party in Cambodia with a lot of support across the country. So I would obviously like to see that party have a fair chance for people to come out and express their support and to vote in a safe way, in a transparent way. In June, a lot of video footage and picture evidence from the commune election showed that a lot of the voting centers were closed early. People were not permitted access to watch the counting of the vote. So I would like to see more transparency with that. I would like to see all viable parties to have a chance to win the election, and not to see any more intimidation or threats of violence or actual violence against the people that are running, the people that are supportive, the people that are in opposition. That's my hope.
Thank you, Brittany. And talking about elections, the same way, I hope Cambodian go out and vote in July. And even though you are asking for no intimidations, it's going to be intimidations. We all know it's all of that is going to exist, but I'm hopeful that Cambodian be brave enough, and they are brave enough because they are elect on the commune elections. All of that obstacle, they still go out and vote. So hopefully in July 2023, everyone will go out and vote, and will go out and vote for a party that stands for democracy, and party that they truly believe that's gonna do change for the country. And when I say change, real change, not under leadership for over almost 40 years and nothing changed. Brittany and I, we live in a country where we elect our official every 4 years, and for us, it's very unimaginable to know that somebody sitting on that same seat for over 38 years, and only one political party that hold power that just uncalled for, and there's no change. And so please don't feel, for the people in Cambodia, please don't feel intimidated. Please, use your right to vote. So go out and vote in July. Anything else we forgot to cover in 2023? What you hope for, Brittany?
I think that's it. But if other people have comments, they're welcome to drop them in the chat, and we can address those in the coming weeks also.
Well, thank you, Brittany, and I hope that you stay warm in Ohio.
Me too. Pray for no more snow. I hope the winter is over.
Oh, you wish too much wishful thinking, I guess. That's wishful thinking. So hopefully spring is sooner than later for Brittany. And again, thank you, Brittany, for being here. Thank you for giving you our input, your insight into 2023, and Happy New Year to you and your family.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you, Brittany.
Welcome.
Well, our show is come to an end. Thank you so much for watching our show. Thank you so much for commenting on our show. Again, our topic was insight into 2023. I hope you enjoyed that. Brittany is one of our guests. She's one of the guests that I talk to every Tuesday, and she is really great. She's give her input, and it's not just lip service. She actually does the work. She actually been into Cambodia many times and advocate for human rights and democracy in Cambodia. So for that, thank you, Brittany. And I hope our audience can watch her, can learn something from her, and also brave enough to advocate for that. I am 7:13 in California time. I know in East Coast past 10 o'clock. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching our show. As always, I hope you have a good evening wherever you at, or good day wherever you at. I hope that you are using your voice to advocate for change in the country you live in, or change, especially Khmer. And this show is called Khmer Youth Voices for Justice. I hope you watch the show and also advocate for the people in Cambodia that doesn't have a voice. We oversee, we have a voice. We can choose what we want to do, but in Cambodia, you couldn't even speak. Freedom of speech is very strict in Cambodia. So I hope you use your voice to advocate for the people in Cambodia that does not have your freedom. So hopefully you do that, and hopefully your resolution for 2023 is to advocate more advocacy for the people that's not able to speak, not able to have the same rights as you. So on that note, thank you so much. And again, I'm Linda Wu, and thank you for joining our show, and I will see you next week. Thank you.